Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Peoples Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture 213. This is the fabled one, the one that we've been waiting for so long. The tour train. The railroad is finally finished. I've set up a little route for it, and the train is leaving the depot. This time we just sit back and enjoy, hopefully. I don't know about the consist. I just put a few different wagon types together for passengers. I will start by heading out to the western border and see what we get there. So, take it all in. It's good that you refuel here. I suppose that's what you're doing, yes. But I'm not sure if it's actually going to load any people at border, since we don't have any hotels on the route. But maybe. Would be kind of cool if we could transport people between the Soviet and the Western borders in 2062. The Soviet Union does not exist, you know. Maybe it has what you call it? Maybe you shouldn't talk about that. Right. Oh, we're enjoying the trains in the Soviet Republic computer game, is what we're doing. A lot of hoods here that we have to get through, and it is quite loud this, and since we're going to follow the train all along. Okay, we already have a problem, I think. We have to cross over here, and it is a bit cramped behind us. Will you be able to get out of our way? Yes, we got to go. You really shouldn't have to rely on luck with your train signaling, though. But that is a bit gnarly, that spot. Yeah, well, such is it. What can you do? What can you do? I just realized that this route will probably not work, come to think of it. I will see what it says here after it's been to the border, but I think that it might not work. Here we see the heavy industries. Steel mill, chemical plants, 2 of them, nuclear fuel fabrication, grain storage, food storage, ship is sailing. I think that's a coal ship though, that's going to load coal for the steel mill, yes. We'll get to the coal mine too, eventually on this route. Now, we're going to see if we take on any passengers or not. We have a total capacity of 759. I don't think we'll get anywhere near close to that. But let's see if we get any at all. Unfortunately not. That's a shame. I was hoping that, and indeed, it is not possible for you to go where we want you to go. Okay, let's see if we do. But if I add this stop in, yeah, the tour can go via Utopia. That's no problem. Then it's going to work. But then it's not going to work. No, because to get out there, never mind then. Screw that bit. And we were just here to enjoy the railroad. I shouldn't have a problem anymore. Do you want to go? You still want to go to the large custom house? Okay. You can do that again then, if you like. don't suppose we'll get any people this time neither. Now I think that we need a passenger stop on it to get anyone actually boarding the train. We do have, we have 86 tourists here waiting, but okay. We have a British locomotive pulling a very mixed consist of like German, French, Polish, Russian and whatever Soviet wagons. I think there's a little bit of everything. No people though, but okay. Maybe I shut up and we just watch the train. I should have shut up from the beginning then. Oh, we can see the light from Prison Mountain up there. Prison Mountain. Yeah. And here, dear tourists, if you were on board, you would see our fantastic nuclear reactor that is bringing us very stable and cheap electricity. It has been doing so for a few years now. When we had a little bit of a bad time replacing the old oil-powered power plants with this one, but now it's all good. That's long forgotten. And this, dear tourists, this is the internal airport that we use for transporting people primarily down to the coal mining area, which is on the tour and we'll get to eventually. Unfortunately though, dear tourists, look carefully here now, because this is what you get to see of our petroleum industry in the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. 2 oil refineries running at 100%. Yes. That's all I have to say about it. Really. There is so much pipes and pumps and oil derricks and all sorts of things. And we'll get to see much of it, because much of it is on the tour, but this is where it ends up eventually. The sun is rising through the smokestacks, although we're just out of draw distance from the smoke, unfortunately. Yes, and now the train will take a right here, I believe. Yes. And later on, if everything goes according to plan, we'll come back this way. Yes. Much later on, after we've been around the entire nation, or at least as far as the railroad goes. Oh yes, indeed. Bum ba ba da da dum 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 da 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 dum dum da 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 dum dum. And we're not only a petroleum prefecture, we're also an agrarian prefecture. We have quite a bit of fields and quite a bit of farms. We're self-sufficient on food, drink, meat, chemicals, stuff that you get from growing crops. The stinging sound is going to be a theme, unfortunately, since there are quite a few level crossings on this line. It's unavoidable here. Not like it is a lot of traffic on the line, it's only this little tour train. And it is springtime, yeah, it's sort of late May, early summertime. Pre-summer. We're in pre-summer or something. Oh, and all the fields have been planted. Plowed and planted. Wonderful. Maybe not all of them, but most. They're growing nicely. Track is a little bit twisted there, but that was the way to get it in between the fields that already existed when the track was planned in. Such is it. Can you do? Yeah, I have to take it for what it is. Bridge. Yeah, so that was the farming area, dear tourists, and now we're on your right here. You can see the harbors for the coal and related stuff. We also make bricks down here. And you'll notice that there are no residential buildings around. No, that's where because we fly people in from the airport that you saw previously to work here. And dig a bit of coal and refine a bit of coal and put it on a ship. One of these ships eventually. This one is about to be full. Only 1,000 tons left until it's full. Then it will sail up to the steel mill. Or if it was an exporting one, I don't know. Yes, the coal industry is here. And the dust is emanating from the refining plants. Very good. Coal processing plants. Means they're working. Yes, we're getting almost timing the train with a plane landing. Not quite though, but it is there. So far we have seen, the main met metropolitan area, and the farming area and the coal mining bits, which well, we've also of course seen what we do with the petroleum, our refineries, and where we keep our refined products for export or internal use and so on. But so far we've seen very little of the actual petroleum extraction, pumping it out of the ground. That is what we'll see on the return leg. After that, we've been to the so-called Soviet border, which we're going to right now, and it would stand to reason that we won't get any people on board this time neither, since we did previously. I'll probably have to put in a passenger stop, and maybe even need to have a hotel in close to that passenger stop in order to get this to work. Unless they want to travel between the borders, but I don't think they do that. Down here there isn't really that much to see. There's mostly woods and swampy woods. Taiga, they call it. Trees and wetlands and mosquitoes that you just wouldn't believe. So many mosquitoes. No, you can't believe it until you've seen it, been through it. You think it's a joke, the amount of mosquitoes. It is, but unfortunately it is not a joke. It can actually be that many mosquitoes in one and the same place at one time. Yeah. Have to be experienced to be believed that it really is possible to have that many mosquitoes in such a small area, but it is. A small area, but yeah, that's not what I meant to say. So a dense population of mosquitoes that is just not realistic until you experience it. And then still, when you have experienced it, you think that it was really that many mosquitoes. How the hell was that possible? Yes, it was possible. And it is also possible to get basically an unlimited amount of mosquito bites that itches like hell. Not nice. Not a nice experience. Down here we do have a little bit of infrastructure. It came with the map. It's just nothing I've touched or used any of this stuff, actually. Most of it has burnt down, as we can see from the yellow outlines here. And there we are. First time train arriving at the Soviet border. 86 tourists, no one is getting on board the train. Oh. Not really coming as a surprise there. 0 to 100, I didn't start counting in time, and now we're halfway to 100. Acceleration is pretty good, but then again, we weigh 358 tons, not a lot. Our petroleum trains, the longest ones, they weigh 2,500 tons. So this is nothing in comparison. We're already up to max speed of 150 kilometers per hour. And through some magic, rail magic, we don't need to slow down for corners and such, and we can brake instantaneously. Really handy. What is that? And we can see, oh, that's coal. We can see all the way to capital. Oh. Okay, so now we're making it back again, same way as we came for a little bit here. We're doubling back, but it's only until we get to where this spur leads to the Soviet border. Now we get a different route than what we came in on. I wonder how we're doing for fuel. Quite a lot of fuel actually. We used like a third of a tank or something so far. That's good. I shouldn't have any issues, maybe, hopefully, possibly. And a 20-minute mark is up, but we have to ride the whole thing. Obviously, of course we have to. We are riding the whole thing. Da 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 da. Stop. And here, dear tourists that are not on board, we see the first pump jacks that are pumping oil out of the ground, actually getting the raw petroleum, the resource extracted. Why isn't this? I don't seem to be able to change the zoom. Oh, hey. Now I can do it again. Good. Yeah, so the oil fields actually start out here. That was the most remote oil field that we have. And there is a pipe going, a network of pipes and pump jacks going all the way to the oil refinery that we saw previously. There we have coal mining town again from the other side. And now we can see why we're calling ourselves the Peoples Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. It's basically what we do here is pump oil out of the ground and refine it and sell the products. Also sell what we don't have time to refine in our double refinery setup. And now it's actually not that far to go on the Tor railroad. So soon we'll join up with our actual railroad that we use for stuff. Still more oil derricks to see though. There's plenty more. We're only seeing not a bit more than a fraction of them, but we're only seeing a small selection of all the derricks that we have. Crossing over the road for some reason. Yes. Now here we have a bit of infrastructure. This We have so many oil derricks that it maximizes the throughput of a pipeline. Therefore, we have these trains to take up whatever can't fit in the pipe. It isn't that much, but still it is a bit. And we wouldn't want to leave oil or money on the table, as it were. That's why we have this. And now we are out on sharp production railway again. No silly tour railway. Now this is real stuff. Could we get the timing with the ship underneath the bridge, you think, whilst we're going over it? Doubt it. Still, I really like how this came out with this climb up to the level that we need to be at for clearance for ships. Yeah. It's close enough. It's not passing directly underneath, but it's something. This is a coal ship, right? Yes, it is the one. It's the coal ship that we saw down in Coal Town. Not town, coal mining area. On your right, more fields, yes. This where on your left is the rail track that we started our journey on. Such is it. Such are the ways of things. And now we are actually getting close to the end of the tour. Since now we're making our way back to the large custom house with the west, which is where we started. And we've been through this bit already, but we can stay on it for a while longer. Yes, we'll stay on it for a while longer. There's so much to see here after all, especially around here. What we're coming up on. Well, we have to wait for a train. That was the first time we had to wait, I think. Wasn't it? We had luck with the semaphores. That was barely even waiting. Just a short stop. And again, the internal airport and a Tu-144 supersonic, the Soviet Concorde, has just landed. As we still keep those in service here in 2062. Completely reasonable thing to do. RBMK reactors, also a completely reasonable thing to do. Okay, it would have been nicer if I actually had some people on the train, but whatever. That's it. That's the tour of the railroad. The tour railroad. See if we can figure out a use for it. Yeah, we could take trains to sell stuff to the Soviets. But we don't really sell stuff to Soviets. No, we get the only rubles we need, all the rubles we need we get from the tourists nowadays. That's plenty enough to buy the gravel that we buy from them. That's one thing to say about this place, since it is all a swampy, muddy, mosquito-infested hellhole. We have not been able to establish a quarry anywhere, so all gravel have had to be imported via ship. It's a little bit annoying, as it has been at times. It's just the way it is. If you don't have any granite, you don't have any. Or other rock. It's just, no matter how deep we dug, it's only more mud. But there it is. Back where we started. Actually, where we started was at the train depot, but that's close enough, you know what I mean. Yes, that's it. That is the tour of the railroad, via the railroad, tour on the railroad, call it what you want. Thank you so very much for watching. Number 213 of the Peoples Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Number 214 will come tomorrow, and I think that will delve a little bit more into the tourism industry in that one. See you then, perhaps. Good night.